You know, man, your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears, because your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears and all your consequences. What makes people go back is you dream too small.
There's only one thing a friend of mine years ago taught me when I was coming up, and I was deciding if I was going to do this, if I was going to pursue this life. And he's an Indian friend of mine. He said, "Abna hito kab." I think that means if not now, then when. So whatever you want to do, abna hito kab.
When you go from a bad place to a better place, you go to a worse place first. And that's it's a great thing to know, because it also tells you why you might be unwilling to take the next step. You know, you're aiming up, but in order to aim up, you have to let go of something you already have.
I'm not like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else. I have something inside which is burning. And I look around, and this life and everything I see is not for me. I'm supposed to be something different. I have to be something different.
Recognize the absolute infinite nature of what you could do. Consciousness is this crazy gift that literally can do anything. You don't have to go to the job you went to today. You don't have to live where you live now. You don't have to be in the relationship that you're in. You literally can do anything that you choose. It just takes a certain amount of willingness to suffer. But this thing, whatever we are, is a crazy, infinite, magical tool of creation.
I have to get tougher. It doesn't matter if things get harder. I gotta get tougher. Not quit, not give up, not give in. Go harder.
The lesson was, when life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up, and I need you to go heavy on the thing that just knocked you. The lesson was, when uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off, and I need you to go heavy on it. The lesson is, when something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. It's never about the competitors. It's about what we possess and what we do.
Cus would always say there's a difference between the coward and the hero. They both feel the same. They're both scared and nervous. The hero feels the same way, but he fights the feelings off, and he goes on to accomplish being a hero.
You know, man, your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears, because your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears and all your consequences.
Well. If it isn't the guy that thinks it's too late.
Then this is one part that I try to tell people and teach them. If you're trying to go to that uncommon amongst the uncommon place, it's a lonely motherfucker up there, man.
If I had to pick one trait for a young man to have, it would be resilience.
Let me ask you something, bro. Why not you? I think I know why. It's because you never really believed it in the first place.
Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't?
I'm not asking you for very much at all. I'm just asking you to be disciplined now.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person.
Like, if you're going to live, you're going to be pushed past your limit, right? If you're going to live. So, but who knows what you discover when you push past your limit?
People will try to put the same limitations on you that they put on themselves. Don't mistake their insecurities for your ceiling.
Death is real, and the clock's going to keep ticking whether you like it or not. You have right now. You just have to take the first step.
I define resilience as the amount of time after an aversive experience that you return to baseline function. And so if you have a series of behaviors that you do under certain conditions, and then something bad happens, how quickly you return back to the original behavior set. And so in doing that, like, if someone can not give up and learn, then on a long enough time horizon, you guarantee victory. Like, if you only had those things, you don't stop and you get better. That's it.
Remember when you don't feel like doing something that You're not doing it for how you feel now. It hurts right now. It's inconvenient. It's uncomfortable. You're doing it for you in the future, you tomorrow, you in a year from now. You will thank yourself for staying consistent in the times where you felt like giving up, where it felt like the most viable option. But it is in these moments that separate those who prevail and those who don't. You will win in the long run. You just can't give up. That is the only way you lose, my friend.
The warrior is strong, yet his sleep is fragile. His wisdom, an amalgamation of precedent, yet his decisions cannot be based on the frailties of man. He is rather fueled by divine inspiration, ascending from the heart. He knows not anger, and only fears the unknown. The warrior does not judge, for his true assignment is to deliver evidence of superior behavior to the creator of all men. The warrior does not dream of frontiers. He only sees horizons. The true warrior knows, accepts, and embraces, above all, integrity, which is his course in life. And only when one can fully absorb these most divine of all virtues can one at last see how impossible and futile it is to make war.
One of the things that I've noticed between champions and everyone else is that everyone else is so excited when they win. They're so excited, by the idea of them getting first place. But there's a reason that they never get first place. It's because they're excited about it. The people who always and very consistently hit first place and win the championship are relieved because they tend to hate losing more than they love winning. And they expected to win because of the level of preparation they had compared to everyone else.
I don't like the notion of everyone saying, oh, he got lucky, Yeah, he got lucky. Yeah, of course. But luck to me is not what everyone is saying. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
The most important question that you have to ask yourself in life is, how badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it.
Don't let them ever see you with your head down, bro. Get up. You're not tired. Get up. They're watching. Your kids are looking for their father to be strong and somebody they can follow. Don't disappoint them, bro. Don't let the troubles of this world bring you down, because there's so many people counting on you to make it. You're not tired. Get up and do it for them. Do it for them.
When the lights are off and everybody else has gone home and everybody else is taking a break and everybody else is just doing whatever they are going to do, what are you doing then? That's going to determine what your life outcome is. It's about how you move when no one's watching. It's about how you work when you're not going to get applause. It's not about what you do on Instagram. It's about what you do in reality. You've been taught that it is just about showing up on time and doing the job. Greatness does not come from doing what you're supposed to do. It comes from you deciding what you actually want and you saying, I am willing to do whatever the takes to create that, no matter how hard, no matter how long, no matter what I have to go through, I will get there.
You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to be remembered? There was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. I want to give people the confidence to walk in a room with 1 million people and none of them like you, and you just say, F you, I'm good. And walk out with you by yourself.
Hardest thing in life, guys, isn't doing this stuff. Isn't going past your current levels of comfort, hitting new levels, getting knocked in your ass. That is not the hard part of life. The hard part of life is when you don't have the time to do this anymore, and you didn't achieve everything you wanted to do. And you look back on your life knowing there were pockets throughout your existence where you could have applied yourself. Now all that's left is you in a self-arrest, self-corral state, thinking, wow, I could have been great. Wow, I could have done something with my life. Now I'm stuck with this shit for the life I'm in. Think of that, and you're in here hurting, man. You're wondering, how do you go on? The better question is, how can you not go on?
I think the most important thing is to become the best version of yourself, to become and achieve your fullest potential. But you can truly become whoever you want to be. And I wanted to push this message of hope, and I wanted to push this message of, if you work hard, if you are consistent, and if you dedicate yourself to a worthy ideal, you can become whoever you want to become.
Give people the freedom to think negative thoughts about you. And when you let people think negative thoughts about you, it unlocks your confidence, it frees your self-expression, and it will catapult you into a whole new chapter of your life, your career, your happiness. This is amazing. Give people the freedom to think something negative about you. Let them. You have zero control over someone else's opinion of you. So it is stupid to waste your time trying to manage it. The fact is, it's impossible to control someone else's thoughts. Therefore, fearing what other people think or trying to control their thoughts is a complete waste of your time. You will never feel in control of your life, your feelings, your thoughts, or your actions until you first stop being consumed with or trying to control what other people think about you.
The ones doing the least will always talk the most. They don't see the hours you put in, the risks you took, and the sacrifices you made. They just see the surface and scream from the sidelines. Because the ones in the arena, they don't boo. They know what it takes. They know what it costs. So keep building, keep showing up, and don't waste your breath explaining your grind to anyone who's never laced up.
If most people have way more potential, but the thing is, people aren't pushing themselves. You need to start thinking how much you can push yourself instead of trying to see how much you can get away with. And learning how to push yourself more, you will unlock a level of potential that will look fucking crazy to everyone else. And if you can do that on a consistent basis, your whole life can change. Within a year, everything can change. But most people never push themselves. Everybody's trying to see how much they can get away with. They're not ready to get extreme. You know, if just being an extremist, you will bring so much more of your potential to the surface.
Your goal is growth to the grave. If you are breathing but not growing, you aren't living, you're dying. Make every moment of your life a moment of growth. There will be discomfort, there will be failure, there will be pain, and there will be growth to the grave.
It's easy to give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. And give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Everything in life comes down to this. I'm telling you right now, no matter how hard you train, how hard you go out there and run and swim and lift weights, what you're doing to get in shape, it always comes down to this. Because when you're training and your mind is all jacked up, all you are is a bigger, faster, stronger critter.
Other than death, all failure is psychological. Now, this does not mean that you won't lose some bouts, because you will. We all will. But it does mean that as long as you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, then you haven't failed. It just means you made a temporary tactical retreat. It means you've made a brief withdrawal so that you can regroup and re-attack. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you get beat, unless you're dead, you are not defeated. And you have not failed. What you've done is you've learned. You've gained experience. And you're still alive. And you have memories to make. So get up and go get after it.
If you're failing repeatedly, then there's probably something wrong. It's possible that there's something wrong with the way that you're conceptualizing the world, because you have a choice, right? If you keep making sacrifices and they don't work, there's a binary choice, and one is, well, there's something wrong with the structure of reality, and the other is there's something wrong with your approach. And so then you might say, well, let's take the first idea, there's something wrong with the structure of reality. It's like, you're really going to say that, are you? You're really going to come out and say, I know enough to judge the nature of being? And then the alternative is also quite frightening, because then, it's you that's making the mistakes, and you might be wrong at a really deep level, and that might mean that a lot of you has to burn off and be transformed.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible, which means that if you see what's not there, that means that you have these bold, uncomfortable visions and intentions and ideas, and you're gonna have all of these random people popping up in many forms, trying to get you off of your path. And you're so convinced that this is what you're supposed to do, and where you're supposed to be, and what you're supposed to be doing, and the people that you're supposed to be doing it with. You're so convinced that this is what it is. You drive people crazy, and you make people uncomfortable, because their goal is to distract you and fuck up your plan. Live your life, make your mark. Don't wake up every day being consumed in everybody else's thoughts and their intentions. You're not supposed to be another person that lived and died and didn't do anything significant.
Hide our true selves from the world because we're so afraid to be judged. We're so afraid that people will walk out of their life. We're so afraid to lose this and lose that. I'm gonna tell you something. I want you to hear me clear. When you don't be who you are, when you don't truly be yourself and who you are, you know what happens in your life? You attract the wrong things in your life. Some of us, we attracted the wrong jobs because to get that opportunity, we had to change who we were. And the opportunity might have been good at first, but now we're stuck in a place where we're miserable.
Stop making excuses. Simple as that. You can make a million excuses why you didn't get that raise, why you didn't take that leap of faith. You can make a million excuses, but you know deep down inside, and consciousness is eating away at you. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. And when you stop making excuses, the only alternative is then results. I'm not saying that everything you do you should be successful at, but you will have periods of defeat.
Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow. So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better. Question yourself. Question yourself every day. Ask yourself, who am I? What have I learned? What have I created? What forward progress have I made? What am I doing to improve myself today to get better, faster, stronger, healthier, smarter? Ask yourself, is this what I want to be? This. Is this all I've got? Is this everything I can give? Is this going to be my life?
You got one life, and that one life, the goal for us is to live it to the best of our ability, from the beginning to what's said the end. In the middle, in the beginning, middle, you're gonna do things, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fuck up. You're supposed to learn and then move forward with the understanding of what not to do. And when you move forward, life may get better, it may not, but somewhere along the lines it's gonna click.
Your past is not your future. It's not
But each time you go talking about your past and what went wrong and why you're this way, you just reinforce the past to become your future.
And you got to realize that all of us can do better. We can be better. You just got to take that first step. And that first step is when you begin to ask those questions. So, advice on asking questions: ask the hard questions. And ask the hard questions of yourself. And in the answers to those questions is where you find that path. The path to progress and the path to freedom.
And this is on you. And I get it, a lot of things may influence your perspective over the years, but how you see life is on you. And you got a choice. Your perspective can either be your power or it can be your prison. Forget easier said than done. Everything in this world is easier said than done. Some of you still ain't clear about your life. If you're in a prison mindset, you blame it, complaining, you're looking at everything as an excuse. There's people that's looking at this year as an obstacle, and there's people that's looking at this year as an opportunity. And trust me, when the smoke clears, you're gonna see who is who. So you gotta break that prison mindset.
The groundwork of beginning to build self-confidence is to begin to keep the promises you make to you. And that's why it's important to begin to even make small promises. If you're gonna get up at a certain time in the morning, not only do it, but then give yourself credit. Say, I did what I said I was gonna do. If it's in your diet or your fitness, don't just eat the healthy foods. Go, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. You begin to build this reputation. If you're constantly being influenced and moved by what other people think about you, it means there's a deficiency in what you think about you. It's a pattern of keeping the promises that you make to you. That's the groundwork of self-confidence.
Well, by the same token, you don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to hate somebody, to want revenge, to want to get back at somebody, to beat yourself up over the head, to feel loaded with guilt. You don't have to make any effort to do that. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
And make it your power. You gotta say, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how impossible it may seem, no matter how much this year sucks, I'm still gonna get the greatest me out of this. I'm still gonna step up to the plate. I'm still gonna shoot shots, because you'll never make shots if you don't shoot them. The greatest strikeout in life is not stepping up to the plate. And some of you right now are thinking tomorrow. You know how many people said tomorrow that took their talents to the grave? You know how many people live their whole life of I wish I would haves, and they get to the end of their life, dying with their dreams, dying with their talents?
A lot of you are trying to find inspiration and motivation with a depressed mindset. You're depressed because you're not doing shit with yourself. You don't find inspiration by not living in the grip of life. You need to live in the grip of life to find inspiration. Put challenges in front of yourself. When you put a challenge in front of yourself and you attack it, that's when you find inspiration. Try to be 10% better than you were last week. So if you're running 30 miles a week, run 33. If you're swimming 500 meters, swim 550. If some of you aren't doing, you're 10% just getting off the couch. The more you walk away from accountability, the weaker you become. Find yourself in the grip of life. You can't find yourself by doing nothing.
Duty means do what you're supposed to do. That's how we build courage. By ignoring how you feel and ignoring what you desire, and by doing what you are supposed to do.
I'm coming back, and I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration. This is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out. I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. They just are not going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. Murphy's Law will be knocking at your door. Why? I don't know why. That's called life.
Remember, there's always more to learn. There's always new information to absorb. You can always hone your skills. You can always improve your technique. You can always increase your knowledge. And you can always get better.
Life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And I was telling myself was so tough, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day.
It's very important as you hold on to that dream. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass.
Stay dangerous. Age is a number. And you can go hard and you can keep going. And we all have more to give. So I say we step up and give it.
Your brain learns patterns. And even though you may feel stuck, even though you may feel hopeless, you're not broken. You have patterns of thinking and patterns of behavior that are broken for where you are and where you want to go in life. And what's super exciting is that when you start to think about changing your life through the lens of just looking for patterns, breaking them and replacing them, it becomes less personal.
It means it's time for you to fight hard, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the warpath.
Do things, get out of your comfort zone, create growth, create opportunity versus sitting in your house and just waiting. That's what people do now. They wait for a handout. They're waiting for this. That's what average people do. I want to whoop ass now. That's what I do. And that's because I accept being uncomfortable. I accept realizing that every day that I get up, number one, be grateful, not greedy. It's a blessing. You're alive. You're alive. That is the greatest gift in the world. Either kick ass or get your ass kicked. I'm tired of getting my ass kicked.
Happiness is usually a result. If I get this, then. If I get to the top of that mountain, then I'll have the ta-da moment of, oh, I've got it. Oh, I figured it out, which is all BS. Because they're all false peaks. They're not false peaks, but they're never the peak.
In the race of life, life's not going to give you a glass of water when you're thirsty.
If you really want to be transformed, you have to live an intentional life. Most people don't lead their life, they accept their life. And when you accept your life, you are living on things that are not worthy of your time and effort and energy. To go uphill, you have to be intentional. Nobody ever went uphill by accident.
The fact is, you don't get that chance. You get one shot at this gig right here. Life. One life. That's all you've got. And regret, in and of itself, it's worthless. It does nothing for you. In fact, the only valuable thing in regret is the lesson you learned.
And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do,
And they did it denying saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality.
I felt I was never enough. There was always something that additionally needed to be done.
On Earth is a very lonely journey.
And so in the early days, like, it feels so painful because you're like, you look around to see who can help you, and then you're like, fuck, it's me again.
You've made a commitment to pursuing a better life for yourself, to pursuing your dreams and ambitions. And unfortunately, just so happens that when you do that, things can get pretty lonely.
The discomfort is necessary for growth. Being tired, pushing yourself, working out when you don't want to, pushing yourself to the point where your body has to adapt and grow and become stronger. Through doing that, you will actually feel better.
You have to sacrifice everything in order to achieve your goal. Everything. You have to be sacrifice your family, your dignity, everything, because the objective is to accomplish the goal. You have to be able to disregard your happiness, because our happiness is a form of our ego as well. It's all about disintegrating the ego and being this objective individual. You know, the ego gives it purpose, so you have to have a purpose without a feeling, which I just know how to do. I can't even explain it.
Everything that hurts you, find a way to overcome it.
What you made look easy was harder than they'll ever know. They will see your progress. They will see your success. They will not see your suffering. They will not see your pain. What looks easy was harder than they'll ever know. It took your everything, and you were willing to give it all. Knowing this is your fuel. Knowing this is your eventual fulfillment. Never surrender. Keep fighting.
There is a period in everybody's journey where they are so different because they've started to do new things that they no longer fit in with their old set of friends, but they're not sufficiently developed that they've gained their new set of friends, and they're unsure. Should I go back? Should I lean back into getting a bag in with the boys on a weekend? Is that the highest, way that I can live my life passion forward? Because that's what everybody else does. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have, but you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
I became obsessed with the power of the mind. And I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
The only version of acceptance that I have is that I accept that the version of myself that I want to be is so far from who I am, that I have this massive discrepancy that I have to overcome. And then just breaking that down one step at a time and thinking, I don't deserve to be that man, but I can still do the things that can create it. And that also means that I have to go through the circumstances that would create that man, which means that if I have unbelievable big dreams and big goals, then I have to go through hard times. It's like hate. The hard times are a requisite for success. And so if you're going through hard times right now, it means that you're on the path to success. And it's not that you're on the wrong path, it's the feeling of being on the right path.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. That is the equation. That is the price. There where doubt doesn't get a seat and comfort doesn't have a voice. For something to change, something else has to change. Nothing new will come from the same you. So do what you've never done and find out who you were meant to become.
Winning is for the obsessed. You must be obsessed if you want to win. You must be obsessed with the goal, the journey, the outcome, the experience, the rejections, the resilience, the grit. And throughout that journey, as you hit these micro wins, celebrate them and then lock back in.
Yeah, most of the process is hard. You have to bear struggle, and most days you don't feel like doing the things that you need to be doing in order to get to where you want to go. So it's a grind for sure. But you have these moments, you find these moments within that process that make you realize that it's all worth it. You have a breakthrough, an opportunity lands in your lap, you meet someone, whatever it may be. There's that thing that just keeps you going, and you stand on that hilltop and you look back at how far you've come. And those are the moments that make it worth it. Hang in there long enough to have those. Give yourself a chance.
Why do you expect your dreams to materialize in 3 months? It took Leonardo da Vinci 30 years of painting before he created the Mona Lisa. Doctors spend 12 years in training before they can heal independently. Lawyers dedicate 8 years to understanding justice, yet you're ready to abandon your dream in just 90 days? The masters weren't just born masters. They were forged by showing up for thousands of hours long after their motivation had abandoned them. Your business, your art, your craft is not meant to bloom overnight. It's meant to be cultivated. What if Da Vinci stopped at year 2? What masterpieces would the world have lost? What if you stopped now? What version of yourself will never exist? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent. It's simply who stayed in the room longer. Keep going. Not because success is guaranteed, but because quitting guarantees failure. The clock is ticking either way. You might as well spend it becoming extraordinary.
But sometimes the reason that you're suffering is because you just won't let go of the thing that's biting you. That's not such a good idea. The funny thing too, often when people let something like that go, it goes away, sorts itself out, and then comes back. So they don't even end up losing it. But unless they're willing to let it go, to sacrifice it, they make no headway whatsoever. And so one of the rules is, if people are impeding your development, you sacrifice your relationship with them.
If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you could control, which is your food, what you put in your mind, how you move your body, how much water you drink, who you associate with, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those in a positive manner, and then continue to do that even when things get good.
Suffering is a test. That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. In times of suffering, what we do is we forget how hard we really are. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. But you've got to go inside yourself to find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. It's a reminder of who you truly are at the core of yourself. If you don't know that, you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why? All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta take everything and throw it away. I use the hurt you're trying to put on me, I flip it upside down and use it. I'm using it for strength. I just flip negative into positive, that's all it is.
You are your greatest investment. You are the greatest investment that you'll make. You can invest in crypto and real estate and all these other things, but the single most important investment in life is you. You are the greatest investment. You're the one that creates the return. You're the one that builds everything that is your world. You should be investing in you more than anything else. Your mind, your body, your spirituality. You should be investing in you above everything and anything else. You are your greatest investment.
High performers hold themselves to a higher standard than the one that they are given. That's the separator between great people and average people. That's the separator between earning a living and becoming wealthy. That's the separator between nobody knowing who you are and every single motherfucker on the planet knowing who you are. You will never become great doing what's expected of you. You will only become great by holding yourself to a much higher standard than that. And that's gonna come with criticism. Hey man, why you work so hard? Hey, you don't have to do that. You need to take a break. Yeah, motherfucker, if I wanna be like you, that's what I need to do.
life is not going to get easier. It's just that your mind and your body become more resistant, more strong. Same situation, more relaxed. Why? Because you finally start to find a solution that is within your reach, within your hands.
The absence of purpose, we will start digging holes in our life. Any vice will lead to self-destruction, holes in your life. And so people who think like, no, I'm a human being. I'm like, nah, bro, you're a human animal. You're a human animal until you get to a point of self-awareness and consciousness where literally these eyes, it's just a window that you're experiencing life through, and you can respond and not react.
The majority says if you go through heartbreak, if you're on your knees because your life is falling apart, rush out as quickly as possible. What I've discovered is stay in as long as possible, because difficulty is growth in wolf's clothing. The greatest people on the planet have suffered the most. Suffering is not bad. I'm suggesting suffering is awesome. The ego runs from suffering because it's the death of the ego. But I believe pain, difficult times, failure, loss is purification and preparation for personal heroism.
We're trying so hard in our lives to fit in, yet the people we idolize are the ones that stand out.
How do you stop making excuses? You have to accept that all your excuses are lies. They are lies, all of them. Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road, leaving discipline behind. You don't have time. That's a lie. You're too busy. Sure you are. That's a lie. But the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done. Cast out the lies, burn them down, and listen to the truth. And live the truth, and go out and get it done.
You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get downright funky if you wanna make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you wanna be ordinary, you ain't even gotta listen to me. Just go about your business.
Every challenge that you are facing, it belongs to your journey. It is part of your journey. And to acknowledge, to accept whatever life is throwing at you, and still have on the mind that this is like just a test. This is how I used to think for myself. Yeah, I never begged for an easy life. But when challenges are coming right now, and especially when you then realize if you want, you can overcome them.
See, the point is, you don't know how much future you've got. What's gone is gone. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Some of you have had divorces. Some of you have probably had bankruptcies. Some of you have had terrible things happen in the past. But what's gone is gone. It's in the past. And to spend your time focusing on the past is to spend the only thing that you've got, and that's what's right here, right now, because the sand never stops running. This is all we've got. And to spend your time now thinking of what happened there is making absolute certain that the future is going to be the same as the past.
The bigger issue with find is that you say it to yourself. That thing that you want, I guarantee you, you've convinced yourself that you're fine not having it. That's why you're not pushing yourself. It's the areas in your life where you've given up, where you've said, oh, I'm fine.
There are some things in life that are out of your control that you can't change and you gotta live with. The choice that we have though is either to give up or keep on going. I wanna ask you, what are you gonna believe? Are you gonna believe in yourself? Are you gonna believe everybody else's judgment on you? Are you gonna believe people when they say that you're a failure?
If you think ordinary is cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra.
1 + 1 is always gonna equal 2. 2 + 2 is gonna equal 4. And 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is gonna pay off.
So I always ask people and challenge people, like when you say something to the extent of, not you, but just a person, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? I'll get to it a month from now. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? Because life changes so quick, right? And as people, we're often arrogant. I was one of them. We live our lives and we feel as if we're promised something, right? But when you think about it, it's like when we try to control things, but when you really think about the macro of life and the grand scheme of life, we really don't have any control, but just life in general, we have no control of that.
You're not afraid of having your body. You're afraid of fucking effort. See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being tested. And that road to success is a bumpy ass road. Has the potholes, nails, detours and spit. A lot of you are gonna die with a nicely preserved body. No bruises, no scars. You also have an empty your resume. Stay hard.
With that motivation, go forward into the heat of the battle where victory is forged.
You don't have to have this victim mentality. You don't have to go around telling everybody your sad story of what happened to you and why you're this way. You can go and rewrite the story. You can grab the pen back from the hands of the abusers, of the bullies, of those that created limiting beliefs, and you could rewrite the story yourself. In all the blank pages that exist in your book of life. But that only happens when you start doing the self-work, when you commit to self-mastery. And I'm telling you, it's not just by reading a couple of self-help books. Figuring out who you are at your core, at your essence, what makes you tick, and only then will you be able to set higher standards of expectations for yourself. Only then will you begin to reach the milestone of impact, income, influence, inspiration. God, it's such a cool thing to be able to break through the seals of all your limiting beliefs in life.
There's gonna be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
There's a terminology in psychiatry called relational illness. You've heard people say, you make me sick. Some people can make you sick. That if you fool around with them long enough will send you to an early grave. That will drive your blood pressure up. That will turn your hair gray. Who is it you need to get out of your life? You need to ask yourself the question, what is this relationship doing to me? Might be your spouse. Might be friends. Might be your job making you sick, stressing you out. And you being a volunteer victim, are you willing to die for it?
Listen, if there's only one pedestal, you must be on it. The idealized version of you must be on it. Not me. Not any other guru or influencer or thought leader. You get on the pedestal. You become the idealized version. You become the hero in your life's story. If your life is a movie and the movie ends, do you want your name at the end in the credits to be the hero and the star, or do you want it to be taxi driver number 2?
We start to trap ourselves within our own mind. And our mind is this big barrier, this big wall. And once we get to pain and suffering, that wall gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the mind says it's time to quit. If we're able to find out different ways to get around that, the first thing you have to do is just to calm your mind down. The very first thing you have to do is don't give yourself a way out. You gotta trick yourself also and say, you know what, I might quit, but I'm not gonna quit right now. If your mind knows, I'm not gonna quit, I'm not gonna quit, you're not gonna quit. Let your mind think it has a little control over you. Then, when you're able to calm down, you're able to think. And then realize, I call it the cookie jar, is you have to have something that fuels you in this time. So once you calm down, what's gonna get you out of the chair? You gotta remember that I've been in times just as hard as this. So I reflected back on my life.
Most of us were raised to become ordinary. And I'm not putting down ordinary, but ordinary is just not good enough for me. Ordinary is you go through your life and you fill out the forms and you pay your taxes and you do what your parents tell you and you're honorable and you're honest and you're a good citizen and then you die. Extraordinary is something very, very different. This is about recognizing within yourself that there's something very, very extraordinary that you haven't been trained to believe in, to come to a place where you can apply it and put it into your life. You can go way beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average. All of us are extraordinary. We just have to come to believe it.
There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are gonna improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are gonna make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Don't do the things that are making you weaker. Start doing the things that are gonna make you stronger and smarter and faster and healthier and gonna make you a better human being.
Things that you have in you that you don't even know, but until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself?
Most people quit and never finish what they started is because they continually stack L's instead of W's. You probably do things to set yourself up to fail in life. You set your alarm clock to wake up at a certain time, and then you hit that snooze button. What did you do? You stacked the L. If you think that you're meant for big goals and big dreams, change lots of lives and impact and inspire people, well, you probably need a lot of confidence. If you're always stacking losses, hitting the snooze button, saying you're gonna go work out and you don't, saying you're gonna eat clean and you don't, saying you're gonna read a few pages out of a book and you don't, and all those things seem small and trivial until they add up over days, weeks, months, and years, and you have hardened your subconscious into knowing that you are an imposter, that you are not a promise keeper, and therefore your reputation with yourself erodes. Your reputation with yourself, as it turns out, is your confidence.
You will hold sturdy against anything that's thrown at you, based on that firm inner conviction that you will not falter, you will not flounder, you will not fail.
What are you creating today? What are you doing today to move the needle forward? You have everything that you need to succeed. It's already within you. The discipline, the confidence, the courage, the compassion and grace, it's all in you. The information you need is going to be from your own process. You understand? Your own failures. Getting into action and seeing what happens is all you need.
You have to have the courage to go after what it is that you truly want to do. That's the thing that separates people, because people work hard all day long. They're working hard, but they're working hard, and at the same time, they're believing that it's not possible for them. What do you have faith in? Do you really believe you can do that? Are you willing to sacrifice to get that? Or are you just going to keep this job that you hate because you're afraid?
You're not being tempted to give up because it's hard for you and because it's not meant for you, but you're being tempted to give up because life is weeding out all the people who don't really want it. You are being tested to see if you're the one who's meant for this vision, to see if you're the one who can not only attain it, but keep it, nurture it, and teach others to go get it. Those are the ones who are gonna get it.
If you're ambitious and you have a desire and you're willing to dedicate 1,000 days, I will tell you that your life in 2.5, 3 years will look dramatically different. Can you wake up every day for 1,000 days and do the work? Well, what's the work? You know what the work is. The work is keeping the commitments you make to yourself, working on your body, working on your self-esteem, working on your spirituality, working on your mind, working on the skill sets that makes you more valuable to your team.
Keep showing up for yourself. Keep taking steps towards your goals and stretching your view on what's possible for you. There's usually no switch that flips that gets you to where you want to be. But the compounding of your habits over time is what really moves the needle. So be intentional with your time. Although they might seem insignificant right now, the small actions and decisions you make today will shape the trajectory of your life. Stay the course.
The brutal fact about success is this: it makes you complacent. It makes you arrogant. God, it makes you closed-minded. It causes you to build a fence around your success and say, boy, I don't want to lose this. And so you get I got to hold on to it mindset. You see, the objective of your life and the objective of business is to improve every day. What part of improve do we not understand? And what part of every day do we not understand? We are constantly improving. Use your success as a stepping stone, not a pedestal.
If you want to be anything special and last for a long time, it comes with discipline, 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 discipline. Like really understanding the word of discipline and sticking to it. Set a goal, be disciplined to that goal.
If you have a mindset and a mentality of what you cannot have, you never will. If you are able to adjust it, no matter where you came from, no matter what your people said to you, no matter how bad it was, none of that matters. If you can get your mind around a dream, a goal, a possibility, it will become your life.
I think a lot of you don't have the courage to forgive yourself. You feel like you have a life now and you're basing it off of your past. You have your family that probably tells you, hey, I remember when you did this. I remember when you made this mistake. And you're a prisoner of your own mind. So you have to have the courage to say, hey, I forgive myself. I deserve it. I have my why. Fight for what you believe in. But the thing is, if you're caging yourself because of your past, you're never gonna get ahead. Whoever it is that you believe in, whoever it is that you look up to, they made the same mistakes you did. So just release yourself, forgive yourself. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. You are here because you're gonna recreate yourself. You're here because you're no longer that person. So give yourself permission right now to forgive yourself, and you do deserve it.
The people who we consider to be chosen, people you see on TV, the people who are going after their purpose, a lot of the times we just think that they're chosen, they're special, it's only them. It's not meant for me. I wasn't picked for a life like that. But really, those who are chosen are just those who chose to be chosen. They're the ones
that said it's me. They're the ones that said, I have everything necessary. Why not me? What makes them so special?
I don't know how to. You never let your mind ever again disempower you and say, well, guess that's just how it is. Instead, success and growth requires you to say, I don't know how to do that. So it is my job to learn that. It switches you from disempowered to a skill builder. It switches you from a fixed mindset. I don't know how, I only have these capabilities, into a growth mindset. I will learn. I can expand. I can change. I can get better. That's the critical moment of transformation.
And I'm obsessed with being the best version of myself. And that's a daily thing. I'm obsessed with finding myself now and not having to prove anything to anybody other than myself. And realizing that that is enough. Giving your best is enough. And sometimes we lose track of that when everybody's telling you who and what you are. So for anybody out there, you know, you're enough, man.
You're not ready. You're still talking about what other people are gonna say. You're still talking about what other people think. You're still talking about how they hate you. No shit, they fucking hate you. You're out trying to do something. You're out trying to build something. You're out trying to be better. And they're not. And they know what that's gonna lead to. So no shit, you're gonna get some hate. That's reality. But you'll never move past the beginning stages of your journey, worrying about what other people think. Stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it. Go do your thing.